All right, let's jump right in. In this explainer, we're breaking down the exact playbook for a supercritical role in global finance, the compliance data analyst. We're going to cover the skills, the mindset, and the step-by-step plan you need to not just land this job, but to really crush it.
So let's kick things off with the big question, right? In a world of crazy complex regulations and, high-stakes financial crime, how does a massive global bank actually protect itself? Well, the answer lies in turning this chaotic, sprawling mess of data into a sharp, actionable defense. And the person who does that, that's you, the compliance data analyst.
First up, we've got to understand the mission. This isn't just about making some pretty charts. No way. This is about being on the front lines of risk management for a global financial institution. It is a high-stakes game where your analysis has huge, real-world consequences. So here's the official definition, but let's break it down. At its heart, this role is about being a translator. You're taking dense, kind of boring regulatory language and turning it into data-driven logic. Your job is to build the analytical shield that protects the bank from massive financial hits, regulatory fines, and even reputational damage. And you might be asking, what kinds of problems are we talking about here? Well, these are the multi-million, sometimes billion-dollar questions you'll be answering. These aren't abstract at all. When a regulator shows up and asks, hey, can you prove your controls are actually working? Your analysis, your dashboards, they become the evidence. You provide the cold, hard, data-backed proof.
All right, let's get real. What does the day-to-day actually look like? It's time to pull back the curtain and see where you'll really be spending your time. Because I gotta tell you, it might not be what you think.
Now, this might be a little surprising. Look at the biggest slice of that pie. Almost half your time, 40 to 50%, is spent on data engineering and prep work. This is not a role where clean, perfect data just magically appears. Nope, you're the one building the foundation long before you get to any of the flashy dashboard. We call this the grind, but honestly, it's where the magic really starts. You are deep in the trenches, writing seriously complex SQL to pull data from dozens of messy, different sources, transaction systems, customer databases, you name it. And then you're cleaning it, normalizing it, and getting it ready so it can actually be used for analysis. This is the absolute bedrock of everything you do. And after all that foundational work, you get to the payoff. This is where you transform that beautifully clean data into powerful dashboards using tools like Power BI or Tableau. You're building the risk trend visuals and alert metrics that compliance officers are going to look at every single day to make critical decisions. It's pretty cool. So you know what the job is. Now, what do you actually need in your toolkit to get it done? Let's dive into the skills and, just as important, the mindset you have to master. Okay, let's be super clear about SQL. The simple select star from your college course, that is not what we are talking about here. In this role, you need production-grade SQL. That means complex queries, nested common table expressions, window functions, and a relentless focus on making sure your code is efficient and, above all, accurate.
And here it is, the full tech stack you need to get down. And I want you to notice the required depth. Your SQL and your Power BI or Tableau skills, they have to be advanced. That's non-negotiable. Python is for more advanced stuff down the line, but supporting tools like Git for version control and knowing your way around Agile are also absolutely essential on a modern data team.
You know, the tech skills are only half the battle. This quote right here captures the essential mindset. In compliance, a fast but wrong answer is completely worthless. Accuracy is literally everything. You have to understand the why behind the data, and you must document every single step for the regulators. Okay, now we're at the most actionable part of this whole explainer. We're laying out a concrete 12-week plan to take you from just learning this stuff to being a genuinely job-ready candidate for this role. So here's the high-level roadmap, and we've broken it into 4 key phases. We start with the foundations, compliance and data, then we build up to analytics and dashboards. From there, we touch on some advanced techniques, and we finish strong with building your portfolio and prepping for interviews. It's a marathon, not a sprint, but it is a very clear path forward. Now let's talk about building real credibility. Look, a resume can only say so much. These 3 portfolio projects show you can do the work. An AML dashboard proves you get risk. A KYC audit shows your crazy attention to detail. And a risk scoring model, that demonstrates your analytical maturity. This is the stuff that gets you noticed.
So, you've done the work, you've built the projects. Now it's time for the final boss, the interview.
This next section is all about giving you the tools to absolutely ace the application process and launch your career.
First things first, you have to get past the robot gatekeepers, the automated filters. This slide lists the exact keywords that hiring managers and their systems are scanning for. You need to sprinkle terms like AML/KYC, ETL pipelines, and data lineage all over your resume to make sure a human being actually sees it.
All right, here's a classic interview question. They ask you this to test your communication skills and to see if you understand your audience. A regulator doesn't care about your fancy visuals or slick design. They care about something else entirely. So, how would you answer this?
And here is the expert-level answer. The key words are transparency and logic. You immediately show that you get the regulator's mindset. It's not about impressing them with tech talk. It's about providing a clear, defensible, and auditable explanation of the data and the rules behind it.
Okay, here's another one that gets right to the heart of the role. This question is a test of your rigor, of your diligence. A weak answer here is an immediate red flag. They have to know, without a doubt, that they can trust your work.
Now this is a fantastic answer because it shows you have a system, a process. Using phrases like multi-layered approach, automated checks, and reconciliation signals that you are a careful, methodical, trustworthy professional, which is exactly what they're looking for.
And finally, why go through all this effort? Because this role, it's not a dead end, it's a launch pad. Mastering this position opens up so many doors to more senior and specialized roles across risk, data science, and tech leadership. It's a foundation for a really valuable and rewarding career in finance.
So, what's the one thing you should take away from all of this? If you remember anything, remember this. Building a pretty dashboard, that's the easy part. Building a dashboard that a bank, its leadership, and its regulators can fundamentally trust, that is the real job. This role is all about trust, rigor, and clarity. Master those, and you'll not only land the job, you'll absolutely excel at it.